All right, hey guys, back doing another YouTube video for you. This is a 1985 Kawasaki Eliminator 900. It's the ZL 900 A1 because of 1985. I believe the 1986 was an A2. Anyway, this bike here has a whole bunch of components on it that have vent lines and vacuum lines, and it's extremely confusing unless you do a whole bunch of research, which I did, but it's not on YouTube yet. So here we go. For those of you who have vent lines mixed up or vacuum lines mixed up, this is what I found out. Now I could totally be wrong here, but this is what I found out, and this is the way I'm gonna hook this up. All right, this bike has a separator and a canister on it, which are down in here. That right there is the separator, and the canister is here. Now the canister has 3 outlets on it, and the separator has 4. It has 2 on top, 1 on the side down here, and 1 on the very bottom. Now here's what you want to do. The one here, if you're sitting on the bike, this is on the left-hand side of the top of the separator. It goes into the center inlet on the canister, right there. Next you have if you're sitting on the bike, the right-hand outlet from the canister, it comes out and just goes to atmosphere. So this is the line here, and it just goes out and it just hangs out at the back of the bike. Now, the other one on the canister, far left, if you're sitting on the bike, that's a line that comes up, and I've routed it along the frame, and it goes into the carburetor on one of the T's on the either between carburetor 1, 2, or 3, 4, but it's one of the T's right here. Okay, not the vent lines, not the float bowl vents, but in between here. There's a T here, and there's a T between carburetor 1 and 2. Or I'm not sure which is how they number these, but there's also a T here. Okay, so that vacuum line coming out of the canister goes up into one of those. It doesn't matter which one. I routed it into here between the first and second carburetor if you're sitting on the bike on the left-hand side. So it went into there. Now, if you go to the separator, we've already covered the one on the left. Now, the one on the right-hand side on top, it's a line that comes up and goes into your gas tank. It's just a vent line that goes into your fuel tank. The one on the side of the separator, if you can see it down there, it's on the side. It comes up with a line as well into your other vent line on your fuel tank. Okay, so those both go to your fuel tank. And I can't point at it, but the line coming off of the separator at the very bottom of it, you can't see it here, it's coming off, and I've routed it as well, a clear line up along the frame here, and it comes along and over to this line or T on the carburetor. Okay, so that's where those 2 T's are used. Now, when we go to our float bowl vents, here's what has happened. Carburetor 3, this guy's put a plug in it. Anyway, plug it off, doesn't need anything to go onto it. What you want is you want to have a vent line from carburetor 4 all the way over with a T, other side of the T onto carburetor 1. Now the T goes between, like I said, carburetor 1 and carburetor 4, and then it goes up along the frame to your air valve. Okay, so that goes into the top of your air valve. Carburetor 2 has a vent line on it as well. Hard to see here, but that is the vent line that you're going to use, or vacuum line that you're going to use to go to your petcock, fuel petcock. It goes up, and then here's your fuel source as well, which obviously is your fuel inlet for a carburetor. It's the only one there. So that is how all of the lines go together. I know this is a long video. I hope it helps you guys out a little bit. I will not post this video until this bike has been run up and has a checks out and runs perfectly fine. That was a ton of work for me to find out, joining forums and everything else. And I hope that helps you guys out a little bit. Talk to you later.